Welcome to the Empowered with Erika podcast. My name is Erika FB, and I'm an empowerment coach, mindset mentor, personal development enthusiast, and holistic health advocate. I've spent the last several years healing my mind, body, and soul, and have learned so much along the way. From healing trauma to navigating a sober lifestyle and learning how to step into my personal power, it has been transformational. If you are looking to heal, to be inspired, to uplevel your life, and become the most empowered version of yourself, you've come to the right place. I created this podcast to help you know you are worthy of rewriting your story and to help you navigate your own empowerment journey. You are worthy of living your most authentic, aligned, and inspired life, and I can help you get there. Whether you are diving deep into personal development or just need a weekly pick-me-up, I've got you covered. Thank you so much for pressing play today. I cannot wait to transform together. Let's get empowered. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Empowered with Erika. Your host Erika here, and I'm so excited for today's episode. So first, I just want to give you guys a little life update, and one of those things is I am releasing a digital product. It's coming soon. I'm super fucking stoked for it. I'm thinking that it's going to be released at the end of next week. That is the plan. If everything goes to plan, we are releasing it at the end of next week. So mark your calendars. That is going to be, let me just confirm that date. That is going to be Friday, November 11th. Perfect. Fuck yeah. 11/11. Yeah, that's when it's fucking happening. Next week, Friday, November 11th, and I'm going to talk more about it on next week's episode, so make sure you stay tuned. I'm so fucking stoked. I've been working really hard on it, and it's going to just be this tool that can really help you set up your year and set up 2023 to be the best year yet for you. And I'm going to share with you some things that have helped me to manifest and help me to really bring into my reality things that I've desired and how I've been able to really connect with nature in that. So that's the little preview. That's the little hint you're getting. I've shared it with a couple of people, but most people have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. So 11/11, 2022. I can't even believe I didn't think of that earlier. Fucking angel numbers. Yeah, that's when the product is dropping. So first digital product of Empowered with Erika is going to be live at the end of next week. Next week's Thursday episode, the day before it launches, I'm going to talk more about it, and I'm going to talk about the principles behind it as well. So stay tuned for that. All right, guys. So this week's episode, I wasn't really sure what to talk about at first. I was like, there's been a lot going on behind the scenes. Like I said, I've been working on this digital product. There's been a lot of changes in my personal life, just like I shared like in the past few episodes. If you've not listened to episode 33, do so. Stop here, go listen to episode 33, which I believe would be 2 episodes ago, because I've had some big life changes happen recently, and it's been big. It's been really big for me. It's changed a lot for me. And so, anywho, I was thinking about what do I share today? And honestly, I was feeling a little lost because my thing is, guys, I want to provide a high quality podcast every single week, and I want to share something of value and that is heartfelt. Like I'm not here to be a robot. I'm not here to just like talk out of my ass, right? So I was like, okay, what can I talk about today? And then the perfect thing came to my mind, and I was thinking about it and how I can share it effectively. So today we are going to talk all about vision, and this kind of leads into next week's episode as well, and the importance of creating a vision for your life and how to help that vision become reality. Okay. And really, I'm going to talk more about the mindset behind having a vision. So little recap, if you do not know my story, I've been sober for almost 3 years. Actually, year 3 is going to be coming up at the end of the year, because I forget the actual date, to be quite honest, but end of December is like my sobriety anniversary. So and a lot of fucking shit has happened since then. I believe it's going to be 3 years. I need to do my math. But yeah, so end of December is my sobriety anniversary. And honestly, that was the kickoff for me starting to choose myself, for me really finding more clarity in my life and having the balls to actually take my mental health, my personal development seriously. Like that was a huge step. And I was already doing a lot of personal development already. Like I said, this has been a journey for me for the past, like, honestly, 6-7 years, like 5 to 7 years. But that decision to go sober was a big one for me. And one reason is because I took away what I was using to numb. I took away my crutch and my coping mechanism, right? And I'm not someone that drank that often. I really didn't. But when I did, it was unhealthy, right? So, how does this lead into having vision? So, one of the things I noticed in my personal development journey over the past several years is there's these things that I've wanted in my life, but I was like, it seems so out of reach. It seems so out of touch. It seems like there's no fucking way I can get there. And in the beginning, that was my thought. But my mind has expanded exponentially since then. Sorry. I just basically smacked myself in the face. Gotta love it. Talking with my hands too much, not ideal. So if you're watching the recording, you understand what's happening. If not, I apologize for all of you who are listening on the podcast and not on YouTube. But okay, back at it. Sorry, I sidetracked myself. But okay, so guys, we need to be able to be clear with our vision. If you are someone who's a dreamer, if you are someone who has big goals, big aspirations, and you just want more out of your life, and that doesn't even mean, I want to clarify, that doesn't even mean you're unhappy with where you're at, right? You're not necessarily unhappy with where you're at, but just because you want more, or just because you want something different, or just because you have certain things in your life that you are striving for, doesn't mean that you're unhappy with where you are right now. And also, it doesn't mean that you aren't grateful for what you have right now. Because to be quite honest, I think a massive component to manifestation is having that gratitude for what you currently have. Because when you have a need mindset, that is telling the universe that you don't believe you can have it, that you're in a mindset of lack. And when you have that gratitude, you're just opening up your mind and opening up your life to be able to receive. You know what I mean? It's kind of that doing versus being energy that I talk about as well. So, getting back to vision, one of the big things I've noticed with vision is mindset around vision. And so this is where it ties back to my sobriety. Sorry, guys. I totally got lost in my own head because I'm talking off the cuff right now. But when I decided to go sober, I was making an active decision that I wanted more for my life. I knew that this had become an unhealthy coping mechanism. I knew that I was struggling with this. I knew that even though it wasn't a daily part of my life, that it was still affecting those around me. It was affecting how I handled things. It was affecting my mental health, my physical health. It just was not good. Okay. And I didn't want it to get worse. You know, I have a family history, and I was like, no, I'm not playing this fucking game. So that clarity allowed me, one, to really start to dig deep in, why am I coping this way? Like, what is it that makes me want to numb? What is it that I need to cope from? What am I feeling? First step, figure out where the fuck you are, right? Mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. Figure out, where am I? Where may I have limitations? Where may I have limiting beliefs more so than limitations? Where am I not fully believing in myself? Okay. And then think about too, where do I want to be? So we're getting towards the end of the year. You may be looking back at 2022. I mean, like, holy shit. My goals, my dreams, my New Year resolution was just out the fucking window, and I didn't do any of that. Or you may be like, wow, I accomplished a lot this year. Or you're kind of like me and you're like, I did accomplish a lot, not as much as I wanted to, but I accomplished a lot, and I had a lot of fucking curveballs that I did not expect to happen. So honestly, for me personally, I'm going to probably do a whole 2022 reflection episode, but for me personally, this year has thrown me so many things that I'm pretty proud of myself for withstanding the storm and making massive fucking changes in my life, because I've made massive changes this year, right? But when you look back and you're like, okay, maybe I had a vision for this year. This year did not end up the way I expected. I'm creating my vision for next year. I'm creating my vision for the next 5 years. What does that look like to me? What does that mean to me? The first thing you need to do is get out of your own fucking way, and you need to figure out, where may I have those limiting beliefs? Where may I not be fully allowing myself to dream as big as I want to dream? Okay? Because how many times do we kind of shut ourselves down when we're thinking of things that we are working towards because we just don't think it's possible? I think I talked about this in one of my episodes with Gianna, where we were talking about body image and health, where, my whole life I told myself, oh, I'm not a runner. because I sucked at that like elementary school run. I was like always like last or second to last. Like I was terrible at it. Okay. And so because of that, that created the narrative in my mind that, oh, I'm not a runner. Okay. So where are there places in your life that you have created this narrative around something on why you can't have something, why you can't do something, why you can't be something? Think about it. Take a moment, maybe grab a journal, write it down. Where am I limiting myself? Is there a certain area of my life that I'm limiting myself, whether it's money, whether it's career, whether it's physical? And where, like, why we need to start asking ourselves these questions. Why am I doing that? What is it that makes me have these limiting beliefs? And a lot of times when you start really digging deep in there, at least for me, you will find a core belief that transcends all of the topics. Often, maybe not all, not for everyone, but what I have found when I've talked to my friends, a lot of us have one, two, or three like core beliefs about ourselves that come back from something in childhood or like something we heard growing up. Like often they are very instilled from years and years and years past, right? So look at where am I maybe stopping myself? What is that limiting belief? And why do I think that? And maybe what I would do, grab a journal. If you can, pause, grab a journal, grab a piece of paper, bring out your notes section of your phone. Think about, write down like the areas that you think you're limiting yourself, and then think about what is it about that that makes you believe you can't have it? Why is it that you think you can't have it? So for me, if I put, I want to run a 10K, and then I put, well, I'm not a fucking runner. I'm just going to use this running example because it's an easy one. I'm not a runner. Okay, but like physically, am I capable of running? Yeah. Do I have two healthy legs? Yes. Am I physically capable? Yeah. Okay, so actually I can run. All right, so I don't identify myself as a runner. Now, I don't really particularly enjoy it, but we're just doing the exercise, okay? If I wanted to have this goal of running a 10K, running a 5K, running a mile, whatever it is, and I say, okay, well, maybe I may not identify as a runner right now, but if I wanted to, if this was a goal of mine, what are ways I could get there? Oh, great. So maybe start with some walking, running intervals. Maybe you start with running half a mile, and then a mile, and then a mile and a half, and then 2 miles, and just adding progressively a little bit more and more and more every week or something like that, right? I mean, again, I'm not a running professional, so I'm just kind of bullshitting here. But think about, if there is a place in my life where I'm not where I want to be, why is that? So I told myself this belief that I'm not a runner. And then as I got down in there and I thought, why do I say that? Why do I think that? I realized it's because of this story that I've been telling myself for years. And then when I went through the exercise of, oh, well, I have working legs. I am physically healthy. I'm physically capable of running. So I guess that's bullshit, right? And sometimes we need to be a little hard on ourselves. Sometimes, well, not hard on ourselves, but we need to be realistic and say, hey, why am I limiting myself? Take a look in the fucking mirror. Why are you limiting yourself for getting the thing that you desire? Like, why is that? Because I know that I am someone that I have limited myself for years. So let's get a little more personal, right? One thing that I have struggled with is not feeling like I am good enough. And we could really dive into this, but my core internal belief that I've been working on with my therapist for fucking ever is that I do not feel good enough. There's a lot of reasons I feel that way, from things I've been told, from ways people have treated me, from childhood trauma. A lot of this was narratives that allowed me to build this belief that I am not good enough, I am not worthy. And so something that I've been working through a lot in therapy is deconstructing that belief, right? And I've been working on this a long time. So don't expect this to just happen overnight, okay? But I've been deconstructing this belief of I'm not worthy. And so if you listen to episode 33, you would have heard that I reconnected with my biological father. And us not having a relationship was a big factor in me not believing that I was worthy or lovable or good enough, right? Because I was, especially as a child, since a lot of it happened as a child, I told myself, well, maybe if I get enough like if I get good enough grades, he'll want me. Or maybe if I'm skinny enough, he'll want me. Or if I'm pretty enough, he'll want me. Or if I'm good enough at this, that, or the other thing, he'll want me. And he'll want a relationship with me. Now, again, we're not going to go into all those details about all that bullshit, but this is like the belief I had for years. So us having this very honest and vulnerable conversation a couple weeks ago really helped me realize that all these things that I used and all these quote examples that I used to feed this negative belief I have about myself and this story that I have used as a limiting factor in my life is not even fucking true. That's why, honestly, it was kind of a mind fuck because I was like, wait, what do you mean? I've built my whole identity around this. Not purposely, but let's be fucking honest. It has affected me substantially throughout my life. Okay? And deconstructing this belief, let me tell you guys, it is the most freeing thing in my entire life. And now, if you have something very deep and ingrained like I do, I would talk to a mental health professional because I'm not a fucking therapist and I'm not an expert. But we can work through it. And so this is also my motivator. You can work through it. And I'll tell you right now that every time I made a step forward in my life, whether it was with my relationships, my career, my health, and my fitness, a big part of it was deconstructing that limiting belief that allowed me to really see my vision, create a vision, and actually fucking go for it. Because how many times do we get in our own way? Right? Let's take this podcast, for example. I have loved podcasts for a couple years now. Love them. And I always thought it'd be so cool to have one. And then one day I was like, I can fucking do it. Why not? Why not? Why would I not do it? I mean, I can't shut the fuck up. So obviously, I have things to talk about. Obviously, I'm an opinionated bitch. So, if you want to listen, I'm here. I'm here to share. I'm here to share what's helped me. I'm here to share my opinions. And if it serves you, I'm so grateful that it does. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. It's not for everyone, right? But I just decided like, I am a podcaster and I made it a part of my identity a bit. Not that it is solely who I am, but it is a part of me. And I just had to make that decision that I had a vision for a podcast. So what did I do? I fucking created one. And I was like, all right, I have a podcast, so I guess I'm a podcaster now. That's all it takes. Just like if I say I'm not a runner, but I start running 3 times a week, well, I guess I'm a fucking runner now, aren't I? Right? This digital product that I'm working on that I'm so fucking stoked. I have been working like behind the scenes on my business and really trying to get clarity on what do I want it to look like? How do I want to serve others? How can I bring value to people's lives? Because in my opinion, that's the best way to run a business, right? Like, how can I bring value to others and serve others and help others, right? So I was thinking about what am I passionate about? What do I love? And then I was like, why the fuck wouldn't I make this? Like, this is a product I would use. This is a product I've been wanting to create that honestly, I wasn't really finding something that I liked out there in the world. So I was like, might as well make my own. And then if anyone else wants it too, cool. And if not, like, hey, at least I'm going to fucking use it. So whatever. Okay. But I just had to decide. I had to decide that this is what I want. So when it comes to creating a vision, you need to decide what is it that you want. And then we can deconstruct how to get there. Right? So when it comes to having a vision, I really, really would how to explain it? Sorry, guys. I really would take some intentional time to sit down and think about. It's about to be 2023. What do I want my life to look like at 2028? So that's what, 5 years? What do I want to create in the next 5 years? And then I would backpedal it. Okay, cool. I know that in 5 years, I want this, this, this. Okay, so then in, let's say, 2 years or 3 years, what do I want in 3 years? Okay, let's back up even more. What do I want to create in 2023? And start writing down the key things. And dream big because honestly, so much can happen in a year. And the time is going to pass anyways, guys. The time is going to pass Anyway, so why fucking stop yourself? Dream big. And now, as you're going through your list, think about what is stopping me from achieving that. And go through each fucking item. Okay, go through each item. What is stopping me? With me owning a business and working to expand it, what is stopping me? What was stopping me? How about just the fact that I was not putting in as much time as I should? How about the fact that I was letting myself get distracted? How about the fact that honestly, life threw me a lot of shit and I was not in a mental space? So I needed to deal with that to get into a better mental space to then create what I wanted to create, right? And I think sometimes we need to allow ourselves that time to decompress. And sometimes we need those periods of rest. You cannot be go, 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 go all the time. That's how you burn out. But if you are wanting to make a change, and if you are wanting to uplevel your life and expand your life in a way, you need to have a vision, because it's kind of like if you're going somewhere and you don't know how to get there. Let's say I am driving from here to Oregon. Oregon. Let's say I'm driving from Phoenix to Oregon. I have no idea how the fuck to get there. So you want to know what I'm going to need? A map. I'm going to need a map to get there. So I would put it in my little Google and it would give me directions on how to get there. And that's kind of the same thing, guys, is if you don't even know where you're going, then how are you supposed to create a map and get your directions if you don't know where you're going to go? If you have no goals, no vision for what you want your life to look like, you're just kind of existing. And you know what? For some people, that's fine. For me, that's not good enough. I have goals, I have dreams, and I am very grateful for many, many things in my life right now. I am so incredibly grateful, but that does not mean that I don't have a vision for what I want. And I see all of these things as stepping stones. So I just did a Manifestation Babes Glow Up workshop, and she kind of touched on this subject a bit. And I really enjoyed how she talked about it. So honestly, I love her stuff. Definitely look into Manifestation Babe on Instagram. She has an amazing podcast. Love her. Love her. Love her products. She's great. But she was talking about how with vision and with life, how if you don't know where you want to go, if you are someone that is just kind of skating along, like that's fine. But if you don't have that clarity, like how are you supposed to allow these things into your life? Right? How are you supposed to create this direction for your life? And if you want to get somewhere, you got to have vision. Like if you have no vision, you're just kind of going to skate along. And for some people, that's okay. For me, that's not okay. And if you want to be a passive person in your life, that's fine. But if you have a big vision, or if you have big dreams, or if you aspire for more, take time and be intentional about what it is that you want to create in your life. What do you want to create? Because if you have no idea what you want to create, you're not going to be able to create the map to get there, right? So for me, I have several goals. Oh, and this is what I was getting to. In her course, she was talking about how we have stepping stones along the way, right? And I've seen it in my own life, and just how she put this made so much sense, that as you're manifesting, as you're creating your dream life, you are going to get there along the way. You're going to make little steps that are going to get you to your vision along the way. And sometimes you may be like, why is this not happening? Why is this not happening? Why is this not happening? But it is. You just are failing to see that these things are getting you closer to where you want to be. So an example for me would be my goal long term is to work for myself and to have my own business and to work from home and to have that freedom and flexibility. That is my long-term goal. That is my 10-year goal, is to work for myself. Really 5-year, but like whatever. 10-year goal, I want to be working for myself because I am an independent bitch. So that's what I want, right? That being said, the first step was figuring out how to get out of college athletics, to be honest. I knew that it was like draining my soul. I knew I needed to get out. So I found a job that I love. I love my job. It's great. And it gives me a lot of the things that are on my vision board in a different way than what I was expecting. But I have flexibility. I have some time freedom. I have some financial freedom a bit because, I got a raise. I work from home now. So there are key things on my vision board that I accomplished with this move, right? And so it's a stepping stone. And honestly, I'd say one of the biggest things about it for me has been that I now have that mental clarity. I now have so much more mental room and mental space because I'm not fucking stressed 24/7 and I'm not fucking working constantly. Because even when I wasn't at work, it felt like I was working because I was receiving emails, texts, calls from coworkers, from athletes, from whatever. And that's fine, but that was not the life I wanted anymore. That's what I'd signed up for. And I realized that I was getting to a point where, nope, this is not for me. And I was not putting my best effort forth. And I just knew that it was time for me to step away, right? It was not going to get me to my vision, to my 10-year, 5-year, fucking 1-year vision. It was not going to get me there. So this is a stepping stone for me along the way, right? Another small example is I'm going to be starting like a small part-time job a couple times a month just because honestly, like I thought it would be fun. And it really puts me in this atmosphere that I want to be at long term. I'm going to be doing some part-time work at a pretty nice gym in North Scottsdale. And I'm very excited about it. It's a really nice place that I hope to someday be a client at. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm putting myself in these situations and in this environment that I want to be long term. Because I know that surrounding myself with the people that I want to be around and surrounding myself with the environment, the mental environment, the physical environment, it's going to help me embody that and to become that person. But the thing is, guys, to backtrack a little bit about all of this, is you have to believe that you are worthy of getting your manifestations. You have to believe that you are worthy of creating your vision and making it a reality. So we need to look at what ways are we limiting ourselves. Maybe you also struggle with not feeling worthy. Maybe you also struggle with not feeling good enough. And this is where, for me, it has been a mixture of modalities that have helped me get there. Gratitude every day helps me a ton. Okay. Even if I don't physically write it down, expressing gratitude every day towards something or someone helps me. Like, honestly, I tell Kyle all the time how grateful I am for him because he brings so much value to my life. Like, I love him, and I'm so grateful for him. I'm grateful for so many things about him. And so I express that because why the fuck not? And I express that I'm grateful for my job working at home, even if it's just out loud to myself. Or like, I'm grateful for the fact that after this, like I'm doing this on my lunch break right now. And then after this, I'm going to go back to work. Or I'm grateful that I can run downstairs and make myself a nice coffee and run back upstairs. And it's not a big fucking deal. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the flexibility. I'm grateful for so many things. And so that is the first step. Expressing gratitude for what you already have. Okay? Second step, looking at how am I potentially limiting myself from achieving my vision? Where do I need to work on my mindset? And a big thing about mindset, guys, I've noticed is journaling. Journaling helps me a lot. And it's fucking hard because you have to get like real with yourself. Like, for journaling to be effective, you have to ask yourself the hard questions. So if you want some journal prompts, if that's something that would interest you as maybe some personal development, how to overcome limiting belief journal prompts, let me know. I can put together a PDF. I can put it on my website. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. I would do that. That would be something I could easily create for y'all. But I believe that is a key component, is looking at where am I limiting myself? Where am I not allowing myself to really dream big? And so even like, it can be as small as like, oh, well, yeah, I'd love to make $100K a year, but I don't believe I'm worthy of it. And like, think about, why is that? Why do you think you're not worthy of that $100,000? Is it because maybe you grew up in a home that demonized money? Is it maybe because you haven't been the most responsible with money in the past, so now you're scared that you couldn't handle it? Like, what is it? What is it that makes you like not believe in yourself? Like, to be honest, I just made a big investment in myself and I'm very excited. But I was so scared to press submit and to make that investment in myself. I was so scared, especially because I just made a big, accomplished a big financial goal I had. And I was so fucking stoked about it. And I was like, oh my God, oh, do I really want to invest? Do I? And I do. I do. And I did. I do. And I did. And I was so scared. And Kyle, he reminded me, he's like, Erika, but you just proved to yourself that you can do it. And like this investment is going to pay off. I know it will. I believe in you. And he was right. But also, this is like, again, something I think is like one reason why I think the 75 hard is so impactful for so many people is because showing up for yourself every single day and showing up and showing yourself that you can achieve something helps build confidence and helps you overcome those limiting beliefs. So maybe if you're someone that's, say, not good at managing money, maybe you should be looking at, is there a financial plan that I know I can stick to that is realistic, that can help me build confidence in my financial skills? Maybe you're someone that wants to make more money, but you don't trust yourself with money. How can we build that trust back? Maybe it's something I used to do is I would get so super overwhelmed by it all. And so I just kind of like bury my head in the sand. Now, every single week, usually on Sundays, I take a look at all my statements and I pay off what I need to pay off. I'm like, do I have any bills due this week? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? And instead of putting my head in the sand, I just look it square in the face and I make those payments and we're good to fucking go. You know? Make sure everything is where it needs to be. But that built my confidence in my financial literacy. It helped me realize that, no, I can handle this. I can do this. This is possible. And I'm good with money. It helped me create that mindset that, no, I am good with money. And so that was part of how I was able to finally make this investment in myself that I've been wanting to make for a long time. I have bypassed it like over a year now. I was like, no, I can't, I shouldn't. And I gave myself all these reasons I shouldn't do it because of this or this or this. Fuck that. Fuck those reasons. Fuck that. Okay? You can achieve what you set your mind to if you have a vision for your life, if you are open with yourself and open with why are you not there yet? What is stopping you from achieving your dream life? What is stopping you from making your vision a reality? And be honest with yourself. Because if you're not honest with yourself, you ain't going to fucking get there. Like I just said, why was my business not where I wanted it to be today? Well, because honestly, if I'm being honest, I was not in the mental state to put the energy in. I did what I could. And I focused on the things that were really important to me. And honestly, this podcast being number one importance for me, outside of like my actual job, I was like, okay, this is what's important. This is what I'm doing. And this can even relate, guys, to fitness and mindset and like health. So I might do a whole new episode on this. Honestly, I probably will. Maybe not next week, because next week I'm talking about my product and all the things behind it. So the following week, I will do an episode about like health and stuff. But I've switched up a lot of things with my health recently, and it's gone so much better this time. And I think part of that is because my mindset has shifted. Right? So we just had Halloween. We just had a big bowl of candy. We gave it out to trick-or-treaters. And it was kind of hard because, like, your girl has a sweet tooth. And I fucking love the candy that we had bought. I love the Reese's and the Kit Kats and the bullshit. Didn't have a single piece. Why? Because it makes me feel terrible. Like, I am doing what probably a lot of people would see as very restrictive right now, but it's what actually makes me feel good. So switching that mindset to, oh, I can't, to no, I care about my body. I'm not eating that way because it makes me feel like shit. And actually making that connection of like, this equals this, and this equals me not feeling good. This equals me feeling great. And focusing on what can I add to my life instead of like, what am I taking away? What can I add to my life that makes me feel better? And I had to get over that limiting belief of I can't do it or it's too hard or whatever. Like, stop telling yourself the fucking sob stories. I know it's hard. I get it. I've been there. I have empathy. I get it. It can be hard to change it is hard to change your life. It's hard. It ain't fucking easy. But you know what? Even just saying that, like, why is it hard? It's hard because we have to dig deep and get real with ourselves, and that can be difficult. But let me tell you, it is fucking worth it. It is worth it to get real with yourself. Okay? So, this episode went all over the place, but it's what's on my heart to share. If you have a vision for your life, I really, really advise you. And I'm going to put something together because now I'm like getting motivated for it. Take some time, take some intentional time, and think about, what do I want my life to look like? And again, let's go like big picture and shorter term. What do I want my life to look like in 2028? What do I want my life to look like in 2023? By the end of 2023, what do I want my life to look like? What do I want my life to look like in 5 years? Think about that. And then how can I get there? Backtrack. They always say that's the best way to do it. And let me tell you, it is. Like, one of my big goals is I want to grow this podcast. Step 1 to growing the podcast, showing up every week consistently and not taking a week off. I easily could have been like, I'm going to take this week off because I don't really know what the fuck to talk about. And then I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Dig deep, Erika. What is it that you want to share this week? You have something to say. You have things of value to share. What is it? So this is it, right? So think about, where am I limiting myself? Where am I stopping myself from achieving what I desire? Because at the end of the day, guys, you are the only one that can, like, you are in the driver's seat of your life. You're not a passenger princess or whatever they say. You are in the driver's seat. You need to be the one steering the fucking vehicle. And that doesn't mean that you might not run into like potholes in the road or detours or whatever. If we're doing the driving example, shit's gonna happen. You can't control everything. Trust me, I've been there. I get it. I have seen firsthand how you cannot control the shit that life hands you, but you can control how you react to it. And are you going to let yourself be a victim to your circumstances, or are you going to fucking push through and realize that you are worthy and deserving of the life that you desire, fucking regardless of whatever life throws your way? Do not let these things that happen, these obstacles that come, limit you, because you are worth it. And you are much more worth it than just a small little fucking blip in the road. Okay? So with that being said, guys, thank you guys for listening this week. I'm going to put together a PDF. It'll probably be out by next week on my website that will help you create a vision and help you sit down and think about, what is it that I desire? How can I get there? And I'm going to give you some journal prompts. So thank you so much for taking the time to listen this week. I really appreciate you guys. Like, I love this community that we're building. Like I said, I'm pretty active on TikTok. We also have the Facebook group, which I'm going to be diving more into, as well as my website. So thank you for listening today. I cannot wait to share with you my digital product. It's going to release 11/11 because why would I not release it then? And I'm going to talk about it next week, but I'm also going to talk about the methodology behind it next week. So it's going to be a big episode. I'm very excited for it. I will see you guys soon. And with that, do not forget to stay empowered. Thank you so much for listening today. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you for taking the time to be a part of our community. Don't forget to check the show notes for the resources I shared in today's episode, and of course to connect with me on social. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at erika.vishkalis. You can also find me on Facebook at Erika Vishkalis. If you want to be a part of our online community, check out our Facebook group, Empowered with Erika. You can also find all of our offers and community links at empoweredwitherika.com. I always love hearing from you, so don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe, and tag me with your biggest takeaways from today's episode. Let me know what you loved and what you want to hear more about, and share it with someone who you think would love it too. I cannot wait to share more with you. I will see you next week, and don't forget to stay empowered.